achieve results. You know, the first time I learned about mentoring in a class when this story or analogy was used about the senior lawyer and then the junior lawyer. I mean, they were opposite, their chambers were opposite each other on the road. And then the junior lawyer was wondering, people were trooping to the senior lawyer's office to book, give him briefs and all that. And the guy was wondering, how come they're not coming to me? So he took a trip across the road to meet the senior lawyer. And he told the senior lawyer, look, don't be wicked. Don't be this selfish. Why not just all those people that are coming to you? I know you can't take all their briefs. Why not send some of those briefs down across the road to me so that at least I can feed my wife and feed my family? So the senior lawyer said, no, that's not the way it is done. I won't pass those briefs to you. So what the senior lawyer now did was to hold the hands of the junior lawyer and walked with him from his own office across to the junior lawyer's office. And after that hand holding and walking across the road and then visiting along the way to the junior lawyer's office, to the surprise of the junior lawyer, he started getting
But
briefs.
there's no way. I don't have how you can software from the time.
You know what? The people of the city saw him and the senior lawyer talking. They just assumed that they are good friends, and then birds of same feather together, birds of same feather flock together, and then they just assume if he can be the friend of the senior lawyer, that means he can do the job equally well. And then, but when you look at the kind of mentoring that we have these days, you realize that it is not actually so. From my own experience, I figured out that most of the thing we call mentoring right now, mentoring is more like a commercialized venture, where the mentor gets rich at the detriment of the mentees, or at the that really needs to be looked into. And I think going forward, there's a way we can mute people without necessarily muting me to be nice. That means on what's it called on Zoom. So you see a lot of mentor getting rich, and then the proteges are actually struggling. And then they give too much energy into the mentoring relationship, but they don't get anything out of it, so to say. Remember what we said, the beauty of mentoring? It's supposed to make your journey very fast, very easy. Fast and easy. But these days, energy is being exerted on the mentors project, and then the mentees are actually suffering. So today we'll be talking about bursting with an R, not with the absence of an R. R is there because we are busting it from within, not from outside. You know, BUST is to bust it from outside. BURST is to bust it from within. Why are we busting it from within? Because I'm not coming as an outsider. I'm coming as a practitioner. I'm coming like from the standpoint of somebody that has gotten his fingers burnt. I'm coming from the standpoint of somebody who has been mentored well. I'm coming as a practitioner of somebody who has even messed up some mentoring relationship myself. I've messed up some myself. So you will learn from that, and they would all have a wonderful time. Let me also say this, that sometimes, we always confuse pastors, instructors, coaches, imams with mentors. I believe that after today, we'll be able to distinguish between all this. Because you're my pastor does not necessarily make you my mentor. And most of the time, once we have a proper understanding on a subject, we can always get the best from that subject. We can always get the best from that subject. So allow me share my slide. Good. I hope this is the slide. So good. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to share my slide. Yeah, busting the myth around mentoring. Now, from my understanding as a Bible student, let me say I'm as a Bible scholar before some people take me up right now or make you a Bible scholar. From my experience as a Bible student, if you want to understand anything better, you have to go to the place of first mention. The place of first mention. Where was mentoring first mentioned? What were they thinking about? Because once you see where it was first mentioned, then you can have a proper understanding of what mentoring is all about. Because most of the things that we claim mentoring is right now in our time and age, when you put it side by side on the scale with the real word mentoring, then you realize that they fall so short. And they fell short because they are falling short. That's why people are not getting the best and not improving their lives when it comes to this, to the mentoring game that we're talking about here. So let's go to the place of first mention. And I think it was a journalist in 1699 or 1669 that first wrote about this. And he was talking about the old Greek mythology. When you have Zeus, you have all the gods and everything. And many of us realize that it was Odysseus that was going to fight in the war, the Trojan War. We all saw the movie. What's the movie again? The Troy. So many years. Hercules and Hector. Many of us who remember that, you know what I'm talking about. So the guy who buried Hercules at the end of that movie is Odysseus. So Odysseus was living in his city, who was a king in a particular city in Greece. So he was living in the city. When he was living in the city, what he did was to hand over his son, Telemachus. He handed over his son, Telemachus, to his friend, Mentor. So that tells you something, that the word that we're using as a philosophy right now to teach people on how to develop people was not an English word. It was actually the name of a person. It was actually the name of a person. So he gave his friend, he gave his son, who is the prince, crown prince, to Mentor, and told Mentor, please, I'm going to the Trojan War. Please help me school my son in the things of royalty. And then remember, Mentor is the trusted friend of Odysseus. So he took his son and handed over to Mentor. Lead him right, teach him right, and do all that. Now, the first thing, if we go by this historical account, the first thing you will realize about mentoring is that mentoring is based on relationship first. So you cannot say somebody is your mentor that there is no relationship. So we need to get that right first. Secondly, mentoring is actually rested on foster fatherhood. In other words, what Odysseus was trying to do is to tell Mentor, I am off. I cannot see to the upbringing of my son. I cannot see to the education of my son. I cannot see to the progress of my son directly. So I'm handing him over to you. And then please be his father when I leave, or as when I leave and I go into to war. Guys, what that means basically is this. First, mentoring is based on relationship. Secondly, mentoring is a father-son relationship. Mentoring is a father-son relationship. In other words, you as a foster father, you take responsibility over your foster son. Whatever his dad is supposed to do with him, you do. Whatever his dad is supposed to accomplish in his life, you, the mentor, must do. So that, number one, should help us debunk a particular myth that we all hear over and over and over again. You know what they say? They say you don't need the money of your mentor. No, I disagree. Because if you are my mentor, you're supposed to see to my education and you're supposed to see to my welfare. So look at it this way. If you say you are someone's mentor, what you're trying to say is that I'm your foster father. Now, whatever you can do to your biological child, you should do. That is the role we've given you to accomplish in this foster son's life. So don't keep your money aside and say, you know what, all this guy wants is my wisdom. No, it is not just your wisdom, it is all your resources has to be deployed in making sure that this foster son gets to that particular destination that the relationship is all about. Now, we also know that the work mentor did was not just done by mentor alone. The work mentor did was actually done by a goddess, Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. You know what the account, there was a particular account that says that it was actually Athena that Odysseus handed over Telemachus to. So Athena will now take the form of mentor to train Telemachus. But there's another account that says that it was actually, mentor that Odysseus handed over Telemachus to. But whichever way it goes, you realize that the goddess also took part in the training of Telemachus, in the development of Telemachus. So what that actually means is that we now need to look at the various things that mentor did and some other things that the goddess did, Athena, and know that what are the roles a mentor is supposed to play in the life of their proteges. Now, note this. Athena is the goddess of wisdom and war, wisdom and war, wisdom and war. Just take note of that as we move on. Wisdom and war. Now, this is it. Now, based on the historical account, we've been able to establish three things. Number one, relationship, which is proximity. Two, is a foster father-son relationship. We established that. And then also, we're coming to say now that it is not just a father-son relationship, it was also a God-subject relationship. Now, if you say you are my mentor, you must act as a father, not just as a father, but you must also play the role of a semi-God in my life. In other words, what I can do. Why do you need a God? You need a God to do the things that you cannot do. You need a God to step into situations that you cannot handle. So every mentor who calls himself mentor, whoever you call mentor, must be able to play the role of Athena in your life. And two things that we knew from Athena is this. Number one, wisdom. Number two, war. Number one, wisdom. Number two, war. So your mentor must provide you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Your mentor also must be ready to go to war with you. Your mentor must be ready to pave the way for you. But that is always the opposite that we see in our world and in our time. Because people gather proteges, mentees together, and at the end of the day, the mentor speaks to them, only gives them wisdom, but does not go to war with them. Just shares principle with them, and they go on their own. Now, what this means right now, ladies and gentlemen, what this means right now is this, that if you call yourself a mentor, you are into the role or the activities or the duties of a mentor, based on all these things I've listed, then you know that you do not have the capacity to mentor 5,000 people. You don't have it. So when you see a gathering of 5,000 people and they call it mentoring, mentoring forum and everything, you see 6,000 people or 500 people, it's just not supposed to be called a mentoring forum, because you cannot be a father to all those 5,000 people. You cannot go to war with each and every one of them. You cannot play that role. Now, this is I was thinking about this. Let me also help you to know. Sometimes when I finish with this, you realize that some people are your mentor and some people are not. And before I even get there, let me give you a little litmus test. If you called anybody a mentor and the person has not called you during this pandemic, don't sack the person, but give the person a yellow card. I mean, who will have a son and there is COVID-19, a biological son and there is COVID-19, there is a pandemic in town, and he won't put a call to his biological son. He won't put a call to his biological daughter. So a mentor is not just responsible to their biological children, they are also responsible to their foster children. A call, a text, a mail, not a generalized mail, but a personalized mail. Let me also say this, if you have a mentor who has not actually for once returned your call after you've called, returned your call, and will always complain to you or tell you, the reason why I've not returned your call, I'm very busy. I am very busy. And this and that. Guys, know what? That is, allow me to use the word balderdash. Nobody is busy for the people that are priority to them. If you put a call once, twice, 3 times, and you don't receive a call back, then you're not on the priority list. And if you're not the priority list, in other words, they are telling you that although you are calling me your mentor, but definitely you are not my protege. We'll get to that. So, did you receive a call from your mentor? If they didn't call you, I'm not saying sack them, but actually I'm saying sack them because you're not on priority list. You're not on priority list. You're not a priority. So you need to work on that. A mentor is a father, a mentor. There's proximity, there's relationship, there is wisdom. A mentor goes to war with you. One of my protege had a police case recently. I mean, I was called in the middle of the night. Around 9-ish or 10. He was taken to the police station. They didn't even know where they took him to, blah, blah, blah. His family was in disarray and everything. I could have just said, you know what, don't disturb my sleep. But you know what? He's my protege. I'm his mentor. I'm his father, foster father. That case becomes my case. That case becomes my case. I had to activate all my relationship that I know can get him out of there. We couldn't get him out until the next day, but I activated all my relationship to make sure this guy that I've called a protege must get out of that police station. He was harassed, he was intimidated, but now he's no more intimidated because we have to activate it. That is what a mentor does. A mentor does not just advise you, a mentor does not just speak to you, A mentor does not just, admonish you. A mentor does not just give you step by step of what to do. A mentor goes with you through all those steps until you are successful. What a mentor does to you is what a father or a mother does to their child. Are we together, guys? Are we together? I need to see more comments so that I can know that I am with people who are alive. So just wave at me, please, if you get what I'm saying. Now, also we say that a mentor must play the role of a semi-god. This is where sponsorship comes in. Now, if your mentor has not promoted whatever you do before, has never done anything to let people see that, they are associated with you, then there's a problem with that mentoring relationship. Because who gives birth to a child and not publicly identify with the child? Now, you remember the story I said about the lawyer, the two lawyers? It was a public show from the two of them. The senior lawyer deliberately saw him off because he knows that once they see us together, they will know that I am with you. So you have a mentor, you're doing a lot of things, and then he cannot even show up there or give you an endorsement or open a door for you. Open a door for you, put in a word for you in some places, but he would keep telling you, you need to grow up, you need to grow up to that point and everything. That is actually not a mentor, because a mentor is supposed to play the role of a semi-god. Play the role of a semi-god, open some doors for you. So if he's not opening the door, he does not actually qualify to be called one. Are we together, guys? Are we together, guys? So this is it. I'm going to show you a slide right now. And you're going to look at everybody in your life that you call the mentor and tell me how many of those boxes they can tick. Look at it. How many of those boxes can they tick? Because you know what, guys? Have you looked through it? Have you looked through it? At different points during the course of this relationship, a mentor will probably fill all of these following roles. Now, let's make it easy on them. Let's make it easy on them. At least 70% of this role must be played by your mentor. Now, you can see the ones that we marked there or marked out there. What's it called? Teacher, educator, planner, energizer. Those are the ones that we always carry in our head, because most of the time when I come up stage and I teach you, I educate you, and I help you plan your goal, tell you to set goals, tell you the kind of goals to set, and then I tell you, hey, go for it. You can make it and everything. Those are the three top roles that makes us say these people are our mentors. You help me plan, you help me set a target. You are my confidence. I need to come and tell you all. I should be free enough to tell you, oh mentor, my exploits and my escapades. You be my counselor, you be my interpreter. What I mean by interpreter is that you help me interpret everything. That's why you're there. You are wise. You're the wise one. You're the one that I look up to. You should be able to help me interpret my dreams. Motivate me. Those of you who are against motivational speaker, you can see that every mentor is a motivational speaker. So stop talking, to us anyhow again, because we actually are helping your mentor. Don't call us aspire to perspire. Or if we don't inspire you, what do they even say about us? We are very, very important in your life, and you must realize that. Very, very important in your life. We are mentors. We are time managers. We are a mentor must be facilitators, must be a protector. We'll come to that. Must be a coach. You know, sometimes when you have a mentor, you don't even need to pay too much for a coach. You know, the difference between a coach and a mentor. You know, somebody say, I'm coach this. People try to call me coach. I say, don't call me a coach. I don't like that nomenclature. I don't even like it. Don't call me that. I'm not a coach. But I do the work of a coach. Many people who have been with me, you will realize that I do the work of a coach. Now, coach is being so amplified. Don't get me wrong, they do a fantastic job. I love them so much. I'm also part of the community. But you can't compare a coach with a mentor. A coach job is for a time limit. And a coach does not even give you solution. They just prepare an atmosphere and lead you to the solution. But mentor just prepare an atmosphere and lead you to the solution. Helps you come up with the solution, sees you through the solution, and the relationship between a mentor and a protege is not time bound. He goes into their family, even knows his wife, his husband, knows all the children, and then when there is a naming ceremony, he's there. If he cannot be there, he's calling on a video call to make sure what's the name of the child. So you can see now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you can see now that nobody can say I'm mentoring 500 people. Sorry, nobody can even say I'm mentoring 200 people successfully. Nobody. Not possible. Even Jesus Christ did not try it with all his anointing. He went for the 12. After the 12, he had the 3. And then after he had 70. Worst case scenario, let's even dash Jesus. Let's dash Jesus. Worst case scenario, he had 120. Upper room. The day of Pentecost, 120. He didn't even go to 200. When the number was increasing, he said, this is the time for me to leave, because I have my focus where I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be with. That's why he said, except the corn of wheat fall to the ground and die, it is abiding alone. Because you cannot go to war with everybody that you call a protege that is within, that is more than 70 or 100, or let us even dash finally 200 people. Now, some people, I must balance this now, but some people have been able to create a system that can accommodate 500, 5,000. Once they create that system, you know what they do? They create layers, cells. That is exactly, for those of us who are Christian, that's exactly what Jethro was telling Moses. But at that point, when you begin to create systems, when you begin to create layers, you cannot call yourself a mentor again. What you call yourself is a tribe leader. You are leading a tribe. You're leading a community. You're leading a crusade. Because mentoring is more than a tribe leader. A tribe leader is a role model. A tribe leader communicates to everyone. A tribe leader teaches people. But a tribe leader also breaks down the people he spends his time with. A mentor spends quality time with his proteges. Quality time with his proteges. So look at that: role model, process consultant, expert, sounding board. You have an idea, can you call your mentor, or can you say, I want to visit you, and then you have a time where the person, you just share your ideas. And then look at that particular one called the devil's advocate. Now, it's not that they are trying to propagate the work of the devil. We understand what they mean, what I mean by that. The devil's advocate, in other words, they create a broader perspective. What if what you're saying goes south? What are you going to do? What if? What they're trying to do here is to give you an holistic view about your idea and help you think about the areas that you're not thinking about. Help you paint a worst case scenario that you may not have even considered before. Are we together now? Wave your hands. Let me see you if you're with me. Just wave your hand. Good. Fantastic. I hope you're getting something out of here. So let us move on. I think you've had enough of that, of this slide. Let's move on to some bit of mismatch when it comes to, so what is happening now? My slide is not moving again. Are you sure you people can still see me? Okay. Okay, don't worry. We're trying to see whether my slide could move. It's already moving with Instagram, but I don't know what is happening here. Okay, it has moved. Yeah, this is the potential problem. Let's talk about this even before we go on. I think I have one or two more slides. I think one more slide to go. And then we'll, yeah, one more slide to go, and then we'll take questions. Now, these are the potential problem areas. These are some of the dilemmas that we face. Number one is the mismatch between the mentor and the mentee. Now, most of us, we go for people that are too busy for us. You know, I speak all over. There was a time 2-3 years ago that I was speaking in all the universities in Nigeria, talking, and then you see a lot of undergraduates coming to meet me and say, you know what, we want you to be my mentor, be my mentor, be my mentor. And I'm wondering, I don't even understand what it means to pass an exam again. I don't even understand what it means to be lobbying for school fees. They've not paid my school fees. I don't even understand your language. I don't even understand your language. Sorry, please. My battery is low here. You need to look at it. I don't even understand your language. So you're looking for a mentor that is 1,000 steps ahead of you while you are just about to start your life. It doesn't work. Your step one is step 1,000. You cannot speak the same language. You cannot speak the same language. So that's the first mismatch for most of us who are looking for mentors. You have to look at the ones that is very close to you. Instagram people will be back. Don't worry. We just need to chat this thing as soon as we can. Good. So that's 1. 2, mismatch of expectations. Now, listen to me, guys. You know, I said before that to the mentors that you can't be a mentor and you're not ready to spend your money or whatever it is. Still not coming on. Hold on, guys. We're trying to fix this other one. Are you sure it's on? Okay, guys. So good. Instagram, we're coming back very soon, please. Good. So expectations. In as much as I told you that you need the money of your mentor, please listen to me, please. Everybody, listen to me, please. Listen to me. Don't ask for it. Don't ask for the money. Because by the time you begin to ask for money from your mentor, you lose value. You lose value. But this is it. If you are offered, don't be stupid not to collect it, because it's actually your right. You are a foster son. He needs to feed you. He needs to pay for your education. You know, some of the things I wrote is in my book, so you guys need to look at how you can get it. It's called the individual competitiveness. The last chapter here talks about mentoring. I wrote about one of my protege that came to me and he was about to get married. He was going to get married, man. And then, you know, he came to meet me with his invitation. I said, wow, good. This is a man that's just about to start life. So I drew my check out and wrote him a check. I gave it to him and he said, no, he's not supposed to collect the money. I'm wondering. I asked him, do you need the money? He said, yes. Really? And you won't collect it? He said, no, we have been taught not to collect the money. He said, you didn't ask for it. I am the one that offered it. As a mentor, I'm supposed to contribute to your wedding as a foster father. Actually, I'm supposed to even take up the wedding. But because you have your father, so let me just make my little contribution. The guy refused to collect it. And as he was going to walk out of my office, I told him, you know what, look at my office very well. Look at it. Look at it. He looked at it and said, you know what, if you leave here and you don't collect this check, don't come back to this office again. Now, that's a guy who didn't ask. He got it. But most of the time, there's always a mismatch of expectation. And in the mismatch of expectation is always coming from people they have ulterior motives of getting into a mentoring relationship. That needs to be looked at from the word go. Now, also, you have somebody who is a reluctant mentor. I mean, he doesn't want to mentor you, but you are pestering him, running after him, everything, running after her, and saying this and that, this must be done. Most of those people will not give you the best. Actually, mark my word, guys. Mark my word, guys. Actually, you want to put it now? Just put it. Actually, mark my word, guys. Mark my word. Actually, you don't go looking for your mentor. You don't go looking for mentors. Mentors should come looking for you. Yeah. The best job so far of a mentee relationship or mentor-protege relationship are the relationships that are always initiated by the mentor. So once that is done, what happened is that, sorry guys, Instagram Live, sorry, probably you guys need to come more sometimes to, what's it called, the Zoom meetings, and then get some best thing out of here. But sorry, but like I said, we'll get to talk more and everything. Now, reluctant mentor. Most of the time, the best mentors are the ones who came to look for you. I'll talk about that. All my mentors, they all came to look for me. And I'll tell you how to do that. What you need to do is to show value. Once you show value, even when you're around them, don't ever go to someone and say, I want you to mentor me. Go to them and ask them, but I've noticed this about your job. These are the things I can offer to make it better. Don't ask for mentoring. Solve their problem. Position yourself. Let them be the one to come for you. And then for those of us who are Christians here, I'm a pastor, so you expect me to join my example and analogies from the Bible. There are three dispensations. You have the dispensation of law, dispensation of the prophet, and then the dispensation of grace. So when you look at all these three people, you have Moses, Elijah, and Jesus. The people that they mentored, those mentees or proteges didn't go looking for their principal. It was their principal that came looking for them. It wasn't Joshua that went to knock on the doors of Moses and said, you know what, mentor me. It was Moses that saw his zeal when they sent 12 people out. I said, okay, this is a young guy, I can pull him close. It wasn't Elisha that went looking for Elijah. It was Elijah that went to look for Elisha when he was even trying to bury the ashes. It was Elijah that went. Jesus Christ went looking for his disciples. The disciples didn't come looking for Jesus. So guys, that's one thing that we also need to look at when we're looking for mentors. Good. Hopefully we'll be able to get to that before my time runs out. So good. So the next one is overzealous mentees. Overzealous mentees or proteges. I mean, you need to understand your mentor. They don't have all the time in the world. You get into their office and then you're doing a whole lot of, I know it all. Why are you there? To seek advice. So talk less and listen more. Talk less and listen more. Simple. If you have 10 minutes to be there, use 2 minutes to talk. But when you're going to talk your 2 minutes, make sure you talk a little about the value that you have added to your life or you added to your community, and then ask your question. Don't just come asking questions without giving feedbacks on how the impact of the last relationship or the last discussion has went. So you ask your question, and then you also what? Sorry, you talk about your exploits, and then you ask your question. Good. Now there's one gender mismatch. Now this is very serious. This is where emotional things start drawing in. You must be able to draw the line. Look, in my own life, I've had my finger burnt seriously here. No, my finger was not burnt. My finger was blown out. I mean, it was blown away. It was cut out seriously. Because I was so naive, not anything to do with the other party. Every blame is rest on me, but I was just too carried away. I didn't understand that it's not just about mental. By the time you start spending time with somebody who is of the opposite sex, and then you start doing things emotionally. I mean, what I mean is that solving problems, it gets so emotional. You must know when to draw the line. You must know when to hand over the mentoring relationship. The way we are going now, I can't vouch you. So I need to hand you over to someone. I think we've done with this gender mismatch. You must know when your emotions is crossing the red line. Very important. Cultural mismatch also. You need to look at that and look at how can you handle it. Some of us who are biased, who have a lot of prejudices, don't go and start mentoring somebody from that place you have biases for or prejudices. You know, let me just crack this joke. A bishop was asked once that, hey guy, bishop, do you think, now in Nigerian context, say, do you think a Yoruba Christian should marry an Igbo Christian? Or an Hausa Christian should marry a Edo Christian? You know what he said? He said, a Yoruba Christian should not marry an Igbo Christian. No. Everybody was shocked. How can you, oh bishop, be discriminating that this particular tribe should not marry this particular tribe as Christians? Now, after they blamed it and everything, in answer, they said, in the first place, there should be no Yoruba Christian and there should not be Hausa Christian. Christian should be Christian. So if Christians start thinking that I am a Yoruba Christian or an Hausa Christian, that means he already has biases, so he should stay with his culture. So don't try to venture out and try to fix someone else that you know that, you have some prejudices against that tribe, or you have some feeling against that ethnic group. Important. Emotional involvement, I think I mentioned that. Frustration of time. You need to also look at that because that can cause serious problems between people and everything. Now, my final slide is going to come in now. This is it. You know, we're talking about mentors. Now, this is it. By the time you call somebody your mentor, be sure that the person calls you their protege. Be sure that the person calls you their protege. Because it's like you know somebody that doesn't know you. It's like you are in a relationship with a girl or a guy that he's not even thinking about our relationship. That's the beginning of heartbreak. So what that means is that if you call the person your mentor, or somebody is calling you my mentor, then you need to look at the word protege before you say that is my protege. So I've studied this. When I was doing this study on mentoring and everything, after getting all my nuggets on mentors and everything, I just said to myself, why not go and check the word mentee or protege and figure out what it means? And then boom, I went into studying on protege. Guess what I saw? That interestingly, protege also is not an English word. It's obvious that it's not an English word. It's a Middle French word, and it's derived from a Latin verb meaning to what? Protect. Did you guys see that? Meaning protect, 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 protect. So when you say somebody is my protege, what you're saying publicly is that I am protecting this lady, I am protecting this guy. Whatever they go through or whatever happens to them, I will take the it first before it gets to them. Now, that's a serious statement, you know that. That's not just serious, it's frightening. Because what that means is that your protege must not be going through some serious problem and you're not part of it. You don't just celebrate the victories with them, you also celebrate their, what's it called? As you celebrate their breakthroughs, their exploits, you also celebrate their escapades with them. Make sure that you are able to stand with them at all times. A protege is a person who benefits from the knowledge, influence, or experience of the other person, and also somebody who is protected by the mentor. Should you begin to ask yourself this question both ways? The man that I call a mentor, the woman that I call a mentor, can they stand with me in times of trouble? That's why I said, if they didn't call you this lockdown and this pandemic time, they don't qualify to be a mentor. And then you also, the people you are calling proteges, how many of them do you actually know what they are going through right now? Are there people you can protect when the time comes? Now, you know what? We're going to Q&A right now, but this is it. This is how most of us do not get the best out of our mentoring relationships. You know, somebody was one. Let me use a good example. Professor Party told me he's my mentor. I mean, this lockdown, I've used him like 3 times on my platform. And I'm sure if I put a call to him again, he would gladly answer me. Gladly answer me. I mean, he went with me to Dubai. I took some businessmen to Dubai for 3 days. He went with me to Dubai, went on the boat with us, stood on the boat to speak. He was holding to the boat like this so that it doesn't even fall. I mean, he went on the yacht, no, not boats. It was a yacht. Yacht, yeah. It wasn't a boat. So he went with us, I mean, 3 days, 4 days actually. And then the question you should be asking yourself is that, how did we get to that point? Number one, I didn't go looking for him, he came looking for me. You can get it in this book if you buy it. If you get it, you can get it in this book if you buy it. He came looking for me. He sent his PA to come and look for me. But from there on, it's been a wonderful relationship. I have another mentor. His name is Azubike Sikwene. You know why I love him? If I am stranded, if a gun is pointed at me and they give me a phone that you have only one phone call to make, only one phone call to make, the phone call is going to him. No other person in this world, but it's going to him. Why? Because I know that he sees me as a protege. I know what, don't be deceived. You know, sometimes when you hear him talk, he'll be telling you that Nii is my mentor, Nii is my mentor. It's a deception. It's a deception. We know who's the mentor, we know who's the protege. I mean, he will do everything within his power to make sure that I get out of that that situation. those are the people called mentors. Not just anybody you read their book. They are instructors. They are teachers. They are pastors. But all of them cannot be a mentor. A mentoring relationship is close. A mentoring relationship is a father-son relationship, or a father-daughter relationship, a mother-daughter relationship, or a mother-son relationship. A mentoring relationship goes out of their way to make sure that things are solid and good for you. So I think I'm done with my slide right now. So guys, in Instagram, please send your question. I'm sure they are looking at it right now. And then you'll be probably, I don't know how to do this when you use two devices. Let me see whether it will work. If I can, you guys on the my Instagram page need to let me know whether it's echoing. If it's echoing, then we know what to do. So guys, we're back, so we can take question over to you, Tolu, and then let us see how far we go here. Hello? Am I on? Hey guys, what's happening? I can't hear anybody. Can you hear someone? Okay, the people on Instagram, you will not be able to hear Tolu. You just have to go with your spirit man. Tolu will not be able to, you'll not be able to hear. I don't know, we'll find a way of.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you for the topic, busting the myth about mentoring by Nia Adesanya. We really, really appreciate it. I have lots of questions though.
Before you go on, Tolu, please.
Okay, sir.
Instagram, please just send in your question. Once you send in your question, they will see it and then we can always answer it. So once this get it to Tolu will ask, although you will not hear her. Somebody said hear her, but whichever way it goes, you will hear or what, but we'll let you know the question and we'll answer it. Thank you. And also, Tolu, before you go on, I think I need to acknowledge one of my mentors here also. Bayo Lupe is always at almost all of my webinars. He's here.
Okay.
And we've been on for a long time together. And for your information, I didn't go knocking on his door, so he saw potentials and gave me the opportunity to be close to him. Thank you so much. Tolu, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We have more than 14 questions. Let's start with somebody asks, for couples, is it necessary that your partner know your protein?
You've answered that now.
Have you answered that? I just take it from the no, because some people are just coming in and they might not know.
Is that your husband there?
Sorry?
Somebody say you answered that. Okay, yeah, I can see your husband now. Yeah, good. Good to see you. Good to see you. So the question is that must your spouse know about your mentor or your mentor? Yeah, is that the question, Tolu?
Yes, sir.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Even a mentor will never go or start a mentoring relationship with anybody without knowing the spouse. Actually, you should get to a point where the spouse is so comfortable with you talking, where the other party is so comfortable with you talking with your mentor. So it's compulsory. It must be. You know, once you are mentoring a man or a woman, you're mentoring the family indirectly. So it has to be both ways. You have to carry them along. There's nothing you can do about it. Good.
Thank you, sir. Another one. Can you have a mentor and they don't know about it?
Your spouse?
No, no spouse. Can I have a mentor? Can you be my mentor and you don't know that you are my mentor? That I can put it that way.
Said it, when you call somebody, when you call me a mentor and I can't call you a protege, is a one-way ticket. There has to be communication. Communication is both ways. So you don't just call, hey, he's my mentor because I'm reading his book. But
I think that
mentorship is more than that. That's what we're trying to. Yeah, the mentoring is more than that. Mentoring is more about what's it called? Relationship. It's growth. It's development. Mentoring is a lifetime. So it's not somebody, because some are instructors, some are pastors, some are coaches, but a mentor is like a foster father. So how do you have a son or a daughter that you're not aware of? We confuse a whole lot of things with mentoring, and that's why we're here to correct it, so that people can get the best out of life. Once I mentor you, I am part of your life that you open to me. And I must know, okay, I have somebody somewhere that is my protege. So when the call comes, even if I can't pick it up immediately, I wait till probably later that I can return the call. But 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, you don't communicate with your mentor, or your mentor does not communicate with this protege, there is something wrong. It's not a mentoring relationship. It's an instructor relationship, or a facilitator relationship, or a role model relationship.
Thank you, sir. Another one. Can I have more than one mentor?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. I just told you, I have Party told me, I have Azubike Sikwene, one of my mentors is Bayo Olubemi. Bayo Olubemi is actually my mentor when it comes to the corporate world. Himself and Party told me, corporate world, I learned a lot from their board meeting. I was so privileged to be part of the board that Bayo Olubemi is also part of. And then, you know what, when we discussed that, I learned a lot. It's like I'm being groomed in the boardroom activities. No, don't get it wrong. I'm a CEO also. I do board meetings, but there are different kinds of board meetings. You see some people who have great minds, and then you're sitting down there. What you're doing is that you are being groomed. When you're given an opportunity to come here, you're being groomed. Pat Tommy does that. I have Sam Adeyemi also. I have, what's it called, Azubike Sikwene. So you have like that. So you can have mentors in different areas. And let me say this also. Your mentor, you may be richer than your mentor, but that is not the reason why he's your mentor. He's your mentor because there is wisdom available for you to pick when you're with him. I don't want to say you can be older than your mentor. I don't want to go into that because I expect that when you look at it, Telemachus and this mentor were not inmates. There's wisdom, there is foresight, and then like Yorubas will say, this is how I think. Yorubas will say that no matter how many new clothes a young man will have, he doesn't have many rags like the old people. What that means is that they have a whole lot of experiences in failing that you can learn from, so that your new cloth does not turn into a rag later.
Thank you, sir. Someone asks, what do I do if someone want me to mentor him or her, but I can foresee that the person is going to give me a lot of problem?
Then you don't mentor. It is not by force. Like I said, you know what? Most of the time, a good mentoring relationship, don't get me wrong, I say a good one is always initiated by the mentor. It is always initiated by the mentor. Always best that way. Check it out. The people that have stayed longer as proteges and mentors are the ones that the mentor actually went to pick himself or themselves. Good. It's good to have someone here also. Tony, Pastor Tony, it's good to see you, man. Thank you for joining it. So I have comment now. When we see people raising up their hands, a lot of people can come. Do we want to take some people who raised up their hands if we want to allow them to speak?
Can I take Tunde, please? He's raising his hands. We need to unmute him. Tunde.
Do you want to unmute him?
He has actually answered my question.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
How about Ayodeji Boma? Ayodeji Boma, are you there? You unmuted?
Yes, I'm here. Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Sorry about that, but he has also answered my question.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You can put your hands down.
That is a very intelligent. Then asking questions that people have in mind. That's the mind of Jesus.
Victor Adedeji, please.
Good to see you, Dr. Mark Odige.
Victor Adedeji, are you there? I don't think he's there. Emmanuel John Onoha. Is it there as well? Emmanuel John.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sir. Can we hear you?
Good evening, sir.
Okay,
good to see you again, sir.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, sir. Thank you so much. Although you're causing troubles, because a lot of people that thought their pastors were mentors have realized. Sir, I have some questions. My questions are, so if somebody, personally as a pastor, I've approached people and told them I want to mentor them. And in those cases, it worked pretty well. Because my opinion is that a pastor is actually supposed to sharpen what he has seen in you. So if he has not seen anything, perhaps that's why he has not approached you. But the questions I want to ask is, number one, what if nobody has approached you in your life and you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old? Is it safe to keep functioning without a mentor? The second question is, what is the role of proximity in mentoring? Like, is it a barrier that somebody is no longer close? For instance, somebody is no longer living in Lagos. You know, somebody is now outside the country. Does it affect mentoring? What's the role of proximity? And how do you mentor people in different nations? It's actually, I am having some issues around that area. And also, how do you effectively structure mentoring? Is it by having meetings, collective meetings, or to wait until the person approaches you? What is actually the best way to get the best out of a mentoring protege relationship? Hello, sir.
Can you hear, sir?
Okay.
Now, so please, I want to see my Instagram people.
Hello.
Okay, that means they can hear. Good. Now, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, yes, whatever sir. It is, this is your Emmanuel sometimes. Anyway, good. You know, as a mentor, you don't wait for your protege to call. You can see the trend happening. You can see what the economy is going to look like. And because of your foresight, you put a call to them to ask them what are they doing right now. You don't wait for your child to call you when you know that things may go wrong. You call them to let them know what is happening, what have you put in place to mitigate this and that and this and that. So the call must not always come from the protege. It should also come from the mentor. That's when you know that you have a mentor, that's a father. Now, when it comes to proximity and all that, you are in South Africa. I am in Lagos. And we're talking. Technology has been able to bridge that for us. That's, I can talk, I can meet your wife right here on Zoom, on WhatsApp, and then I can meet them, do a whole lot. I can even attend your party right there from here. So technology has been able to bridge that proximity. But the most important, what I'm saying here is that there should not be any time when something comes up, and then I don't even know who Emmanuel, John, or Noah is. I mean, people are asking, I say, do I know him? Where is he from and everything? That's not a relation. That's the kind of proximity when it comes to location. Is not proximity when it comes to connection, the heart-to-heart connection. Do you understand? So that. The first question, I'm not sure I can recollect that. If you can help me with the first question.
That's the one that said, can you have a mentor and they don't know about it?
They must know about it.
I don't think that was the first question I asked.
Oh, your own question. Oh, okay.
Okay. What was the first question?
The first question I asked was, if you're 30, you're 40, nobody has approached you to ask you to start a mentoring protege relationship. Is it safe for you to continue navigating your life without a mentor? What do you do?
Number one, we need to look at what you've done in the age of 30. How much have you accomplished? How attractive are you? Because this is it. If you're attractive, you'll get a mentor who will knock up your head. You're doing a good job. I always tell people this: when you approach a mentor, when you approach somebody that you want to be your mentor, don't ask them to be your mentor. What you do is to have a discussion. When you are discussing, throw out your achievements. Don't be shy about it. Let me give you a good example. I was somewhere, a party, a naming ceremony, and then the guy, the host came to me. This want to be your protege and everything. And I hear that a lot of times. When I hear that, I just say, well, no problem. So because we were in a closed environment, I had to greet him. I just greeted him, but I know deep down I was thinking that's the end of it. So while I was greeting him and everything, I just said, talk to me, tell me about yourself. And then the guy started talking. I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago or so. You know what he said? He said, I have 19 certifications. Wow. I mean, the two project certification to do online. When he said I had 19 certifications, he became a person of interest. He became a person of interest immediately. And I knew from there that it would be a privilege for me to mentor him. We see how our relationship going right now. He's an officer for different organizations in Nigeria. But you know, this is it. I will have overlooked him if not that he was able. I asked him, tell me who you are, tell me what you've done. So when you're looking for mentors, or when you're looking for somebody, when you have a time to discuss with the person, it's always good to tell them the things that you have done. Not necessarily, I want you to be my mentor. Show your value, show your achievement. And then once they hear, forget it. When you're meeting somebody who wants you to be their mentor, say, I graduated first class in the university, statistics, first class. You will pay attention to the guy, no matter how young the guy is, even if he's 30 years younger than you. You pay attention to him. So we throw out. David wouldn't have been allowed to fight Goliath if he didn't tell Saul that he killed the bear and the lion. He showed potential, and then Saul had to pull him close. And we're not sure whether Saul actually mentored or drove him away, but that is the story for another day.
So is it possible to overgrow a mentor?
Oh, definitely. But this is what I said. When you say overgrow, what do you mean overgrow? Because you come to a time, relationship and in phases. You are dependent, you become independent, and you become codependent. You should always be grateful to the guy who saw you through. Okay, you may think you have more wisdom. Like I said, the Yoruba program, you may have more clothes, but you don't have more rags. He has been through a lot.
No, No, sir. I mean overgrow in terms of your present realities. Maybe you were in the aviation and you had a mentor in aviation, but now you're in the finance industry. Is it possible? Okay, I think overgrow is not the word. Is it possible for a mentor to become irrelevant?
It depends on what you want from your mentor. Because if you're in the aviation industry, it's not just mentoring you in aviation, it's mentoring you also in life. It's part of your family. Probably is the guy that your wife can cry to and tell, no, this guy is misbehaving. So you know what? You don't just have a mentor based on that. If your mentor is based on aviation, it's more like a coach.
An instructor.
Encompassing. It's not just one area, it touches other areas of your life. It will also even become the godfather of your child. Or you could also be the godfather of his own child. So it's
Thank you.
more than...
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. We would like to take questions from other people.
Thank you
Stay
so
with
much.
us. We might answer the rest of your questions. Really appreciate it. Someone asked, are there real dangers in being a mentor?
Yeah,
are there real dangers?
Oh yeah, why not? You know, sometimes when you standing for somebody who has done some bad things, it could affect your reputation. But at that point, when you call somebody your protege, you allow him go through the consequences, but your role as a father is, if he's going to face death penalty, you do everything you can to make sure that he doesn't go through the death penalty, he gets life imprisonment. That you would exonerate him from the consequence of what he has done bad. No, you don't do that. But you give him a soft landing. That's what a father does. You're still there with him. He has done wrong. You admit he has done wrong, but you won't leave him for the lion to eat up. Hope you understand that.
Thank you, sir. Can I take Tosin Babalola? Tosin Babalola.
Okay, Tosin Babalola first. Good.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, it's a privilege to be here. I like the simulation with between Instagram and then the Zoom. It's just so coordinated, and I haven't quite attended any meeting like this before. Thank you so much, sir, for everything you're doing, and thank you to Lu also.
Thank you.
So my question is to get clarifications about when you have a mentor and you perceive that your mentor is quite uncomfortable with you getting advice from some other people who are also as successful as he or she is. You just notice that this person has a particular disposition. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. Go on.
Okay, so you just notice that this person is rather really not comfortable with the fact that maybe I follow so and so person on Instagram, you know, and even when you don't even know that he or she is watching, maybe you make a comment somewhere, you are asking for a message that was preached somewhere, and then they like your comments there, and you're wondering, okay, this is not a loyalty issue. My loyalty is already with you as my mentor, right? But at the same time, can I tap from another grace, you know, that is with another person? Is there something in another person for me, you know, other than just the person who is my mentor currently? And if my mentor is not okay with it, what can I do?
Well, that's a very, very dicey one, because I do not think how a mentor will be insecure. You need a very secured mentor, because by the time you start growing and you become big, you may become insecure. Insecurity does not allow somebody to give you the best that they can give you. They always want to cage you and keep you at a particular point. So if you have a mentor that's like that, you need to pray quickly, because sometimes you can get to a point where it becomes a serious. But this is listen to me, please. This is it. You may have many instructors, but you have one father. But that doesn't mean you can't listen from other people. That doesn't mean you can't follow other people. That doesn't mean you can't glean from other people. For crying out loud, your mentor is not the encyclopedia of knowledge. He doesn't know everything. So probably you'll be discreet about how you follow people on social media till he's able to get over his insecurities. Or since we are here to bust the myths and cause some commotion and then what's it called? Take tables. You don't need an insecure mentor. So you need to get out of there. Since we are here to shake tables and break it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Everyone raising your hands. I can still see.
Is Stockwell still there?
I'm here. I am. I'm happy to be here. I've learned a lot, like literally radical shift in my mind concerning what a mentor relationship should be. My mind is blown away. Well, I shouldn't expect less from you, sir. Okay, so now straight to my question. You answered a bit of it, but to make it more clear, how can an individual position him or herself to be the prime of a mentor? You already said that you don't ask to become a mentor. You position yourself. You're in that place that somebody will now see you and want to mentor you. What are the things one can do to make the person, bring the person to the limelight and attract the right mentor to one? That's one. Number two, a part of me doesn't like that concept too. Because and let me just quickly run this analogy. My son was supposed to get into a particular school, and they said because he wasn't passing the exam, a 3-year-old child. And I said, so if a child doesn't pass the exam, is the answer to be to send the child away or to teach the child how to pass? So for me, when we start choosing mentors and say, oh, this person is a mentee, you have to look for somebody that has a very good CV before you get mentored. So who needs the mentoring? People that need help won't get mentored, because all of us that want to mentor are looking for somebody that make the job of mentoring easy. So what will happen to those that are in need? So those are the two questions. Please answer the first one, because I want to position myself for some mentors.
Okay, let me just say this. Let me just say that when it comes to positioning. Now, I said ideally it's always good for you to be asked, for your mentor to ask to mentor you, than for you to ask for mentorship. Now, that's an ideal situation. That's what we got from, what's it called? The historical background that we did, and then we looked at the Bible also, talking about the 3 dispensations. That's the ideal thing. That doesn't mean you can't ask for mentoring, but it's always better when they're the one who make the move. Now, this is how you do it. No matter where you are, no matter the level that you are, there is always something that you have achieved. There's always something that you have achieved. Now, if you're looking for a mentor and then your achievement does not impress the person, that means you need to look at somebody who is probably a little lower than him that can help you. Probably you're not speaking the same language. But when you are in a gathering, you're with your potential mentor, be careful about your language. Be careful about what you say. Be careful about how you say it. Be careful about what you put up. Now, let me give you a good example. I will not mention his name, but if you're smart enough, sorry, because I know all of us are smart enough, you realize this. One of my mentors, I always go meet him that, I want to have a session with you. I want to have a session with you. And he's always pushing me away, not deliberately. He would say, you know what, don't worry, my PA will give you a time, a date, and we never met. I mean, every time, then I realized that I was doing the wrong thing. Because whenever we had that 1 minute or 2 minutes together, I'm always sharing my problems, my challenges. And on that spot, he answered my question, some of my challenges. But to push further for a time, I don't get. So I changed my language. So the few 1 or 2 minutes that we will meet, I will always share my victory stories, not lie. No matter how small those victories were, then I will always share it. And I was not asking for a meeting. I will always share it. This is how far we've gone. This is what we've done. Can you imagine? I just got a contract signed by Etisalat, blah, blah, this and that. Those were the things I was sharing. Guess what? I was the one trying to look for a meeting with him. Now he's the one trying to fix a meeting with me. Trying to tell me, we need to see you. We need to see. You need to create time for us to see you. Now he's the one telling me that I have to create time for us to see. You can see once the language changes, the reaction from the other side will also change. So you need to watch your language when you're with them. When you want somebody who's going to be your mentor potential, you need to share your victory story. And then again, this time you are saying about you. Look, like they say, a successful child has many fathers. A failure is an orphan. It's just basic example. Except some that God has actually told that they should come for you. And it's very rare. Because these days, people hardly hear from God.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Someone asked, what is
the second one? I
Can
can't
I
remember
go?
the second one again.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the second question. Topper, are you still there? Okay.
Okay, someone asked, what is the difference
There's a
between
second question.
And a moral model? Oh, sorry. Go on. I thought you were gone.
There's a second question, please. So the second question was directed at the concept of searching for mentees that already seem, like what the last proverb you gave, sir, that the successful person has many fathers.
No, I remember.
So
I think you have a victory story. So when you are in a gathering of people, you don't share your problems. Champions always share their problems in private, not in public. And you need to realize that your language needs to change. You're looking for a mentor, but once your victory does not impress me, that means you are not at that level of the person that I should mentor. So you need to look, just like somebody's at level 1,000 and the person seeking for mentorship is like level 10. They may not be able to connect. So you need to look for somebody who is at level 100. Look for somebody within his network and connect with that person. Look for somebody who he calls publicly his protege and connect with that person. That person will give you access into his presence. Sometimes because he will hold your hand and then your story may impress that particular person. Because it's not everybody that you can mentor. Remember, we said something about numbers. It's either it's 3, 12, 70, 120, according to our model, Jesus Christ, or maximum 200. Good.
Thank you, sir. What is the difference between a mentor and a role model? Someone asked.
A role model is an example. Somebody you look up to. Nelson Mandela is a role model for me. Okay, don't worry. I've gone dark, but we'll be okay. At least you can hear my voice.
Yes, sir.
Nelson Mandela is for me, but Nelson Mandela is not my mentor because he doesn't even know me. Neither advise me anytime tea. The books that I read, when I buy a book because you're a role model to me. But that doesn't make you a mentor. A mentor spends time with you. A mentor is like a foster father. He goes to war with you. You don't just glean his wisdom. He also goes to war with you. He's part of your life. A mentor considers you as a protege. He protects you. A role model may not be protecting you because they don't even know where you are.
Okay, so can I call someone raising their hand? Elisho. Sorry if I don't say your name right. Elisho.
Yeah, good evening.
Are you
good
there?
evening, Pastor.
Good evening.
Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, sir.
This is Oluwaseun Bolaji.
I know.
Quickly, I would like to ask, is it possible from everything you have said? Sorry, my voice is a little bit cracked.
Don't worry, we'll manage.
I did a lot of meetings today. Is it possible for you to poke or stalk your proposed mentor? For instance, I admire someone, I want that person to be my mentor. But as you have said, probably I've not been able to live up to the standard of that person being my mentor. But I do everything possible to ensure that that person accepts me by force, by fire. I say this because one way or the other I've tried it. I will ensure that if a committee is formed, I'll be part of that committee. If there is an assignment, I'll be part of that assignment such that I will have a relationship with this person. Yet, I've not been able to measure up to what that person can accept. But in the long run, we find ourselves coming together. And I say, is it possible for you to deliberately pick that this person will be my mentor, and at the long run, it will happen?
Yeah, why not? It's possible. It's very possible. Now, you were strategic about it. You didn't ask him to mentor you, but eventually you guys got connected. That's a way. But I'm saying one of the best ways to always get a mentor that will last most of the time, 90% of the time that gets results, is when you position yourself in a place where the mentor can always reach out to you. That is always the best. Now, if I happen to be in a meeting with my mentor, my proposed mentor, my potential mentor, I will watch my language. I will make sure that I'm speaking his language, because sometimes you can be speaking a language that I don't understand. And you must know that champion has a particular kind of language. And you must understand the person, what kind of language is acceptable at the board meeting. Do you understand? What kind of language is he susceptible to? So by the time you understand all those things, you are speaking it at the meeting. It could be somebody who's given to numbers, and then you are telling stories. He will consider it a waste of time. If it's given to numbers, and you know it's given to numbers, so when you're talking, before you tell your story, you start rolling out numbers. Before you know something, start keeping, wow, that's interesting, because you love data. That's if you are in the same room. But there's another way about it. You project yourself, whatever you do in the office or whatever you do outside. Look, there's another quick way of getting mentors. Most mentors that we run after are always successful people, but they are not significant. Now, let me explain that. Success is when you make money. Significance is when you make people. We have been able to do a lot of mentors. Why? Because we are significant. We make people. We don't have the money, so to say, the success, so to say. So because we have made people and we have platform, we create that platform for the successful people to come. So once they mount the platform, they feel so emotionally connected to the stage and everything. And after that, the relationship starts. So it's easy. So I'm feeding something that they want, because I want something also from them. I need their wisdom. But I have a crowd. That's why some people, they have social media handle and everything like that. You know, you have to use what you have to get what you want. I hope that helps. Good.
Thank you, sir. Another question says, can your father in the Lord be your mentor?
Don't go. You will still have something to say at the end of the day. Don't go. And I hope Pastor Mario also is here. You also will have something to say at the end of the day. So please don't go. Don't go anywhere. Tolu?
Sir, can I repeat that? Can your father in the Lord be your mentor?
Provided it can tick 70% of those qualities that we mentioned earlier. You know, I showed you a slide. Don't worry, we can send a slide to you on one condition and get my people to communicate to you on that, and then the repeat of this on one condition. But if you can tick 70% of those things, then it can be your mentor. It can be a father. Remember I said, once you grow beyond the particular number that you can manage, then you set structures. By the time you set those structures, you are no more my mentor, you are my tribe leader. I'm part of your tribe. Because you can attend to my needs. Those of us who are Christian, you realize that was the message or the, the instruction or the advice Moses' father-in-law gave him. He said, build a structure. Because he has grown to becoming a tribe leader who was trying to mentor everybody, but he couldn't mentor everybody. So become a tribe leader, become a role model. There will be some people that you attend to, or you can't attend to all. Jesus Christ never attended to everybody. I mean, when it comes to intimate and private meetings and spending more time, he spent it with the selected 12 and then the 70. So we need to understand that. Good.
Thank you, sir. Can I take Abundant David, please? Abundant David, you're muted.
All right.
Go on, we can hear you. Yes, it's unmuted.
No, somebody muted him back.
Oh, I can't find you anymore. Sorry, we'll come back to you. Can I take Okeogene Ubege, please? You are unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Is it Okeogene to go ahead or the other chap?
Okeogene Ubege, we can hear you.
All right, good evening, all. Good evening, Nii and Tolu. Good job you are doing.
Thank you, sir.
I just need some clarity. Since we're making references to the scripture, let me just make a reference for the mentor and mentee. In the scripture, 2 Samuel talks about mighty men of David, being some warriors that fought alongside David. So the scenario that was painted in the scripture was that those men, they helped David to become great, and David also helped them to become great. So I'm trying to, mirror this with the mentor-mentee relationship. Does that have a place to play where the mentor is also growing alongside the mentee in terms of supporting one another? So I don't know what your take on this is.
Yeah. Okay, again, it's very, very possible. Actually, the reason why your mentor will stick longer with you is because you're adding value to him or her. So it's both ways. You have to help your mentor to grow. One of the reasons why my mentors always look out for me and then I'm always easy to call them and they answer me is because I watch out for them. There was a time when I used to buy newspaper. One of the reasons why I buy newspaper is because I want to see what they've done. And if there is any wrong story written about them, I want to offer my help to help mitigate against all the consequences. I had a particular one with one of my mentors that had an issue with the press and everything. And when I read it, I had to set up my IT network. The guys in IT that are very brainy, we had a meeting with him and then we decided on what to do so that we can stop the effects of that in his business and in his life. So you can see me adding value every time when I'm with them. So you grow together, but there's somebody, David was the anointed one. It was glaring that this guy is likely going to be king, and he was a mighty warrior. Those ones, when they joined in, they were not mighty warriors because David has already started killing Goliath. I was already fighting in the war. God's hand was upon him. People could see the side. So when they joined him, they were discouraged, discontented, but they were looking at a role model, and they spent time together. And then David rubbed off on them, and they also contributed to making David whoever he was or whoever he become eventually. So it's a both-way thing. Your mentor rubs off on you, and your protege, you also become valuable to your mentor at every point in time. Good.
Thank you, sir. Abundant David is back. You're muted, please. Go on.
All right. Thank you, Pastor Nee, for this opportunity. I'm so grateful, sir. I want to ask a question. Do you need to enter an agreement with your mentor, like having an agreement? Okay, you just sign. Okay,
signing an MOU or what?
Okay, no, like an agreement that okay, I accepted to be your mentor, something like that, sir.
An official letter or what?
Yes.
Well, some do it. I know he's even here right now. I'm not sure whether he's still here. Sorry, Instagram has gone low. Okay, Oche Ruma, I was told he has left. But this is it. His own mentor, Bishop Bloomer, actually wrote him an official letter. That was presented to him publicly in a church. So you can do that. But most mentoring relationships are not that serious. Sorry, they are serious, but it doesn't have to be official. We know what we're going for. So if you choose to get a letter, it has to be the one to give you the letter. You can't be asking, make our relationship official now, get me a letter. You must have ulterior motive if you ask for that. So it's always, if he gives it to you, okay, but it depends on the mentor. If that is a style, it's okay. But we give letters without necessarily saying that you are our protege. Because when you need a recommendation, we will give you that recommendation. That's more like a letter, because we're writing that recommendation. I've known him for a while. I can vouch for him. I can do this, and that's more like a letter. So when you submit the letter to the place where the letter has been sent to, you can do a photocopy for yourself, for your file, so that you can show people that, you know what, I am officially his protege. Good. How we doing?
You're doing great. I'll be alternating the questions because I have some written down and I have people waving their hands. Someone asks, can you call someone you follow on social media your mentor without knowing them, without seeing them before?
They don't qualify. They don't qualify. Look at the slide. Once we get to the slide, get the slide. Don't let me say when you get to the slide, because you have to pay for it. Once you get the slide, you look at it and then look at those things that we mentioned. Can you say they do 50% of it? Let's even say 50%, not even say 70%. That's who is a mentor. A mentor is a foster father. You know, we said that is a father. Goes to war with you, doesn't just give you advice alone, fights for you. The mentor, when you say somebody is your mentor, but does he know you as a protege? So how can I be your father when I don't know you as a son? It doesn't connect. Rather, the person is a role model, the person is an example, the person is an instructor. So you learn from their books. There is no communication. Somebody may say, no, what about Jesus being my role model? I've not met him. It depends on the Jesus you're talking about. Because the Jesus I know, I communicate with him on a daily basis. And he talks to me. So he can be my mentor because I asked him questions. Should I do this? Say, don't do that. What do you think I should do? I'm going this way. Should I go that way? That's a relationship. So for somebody that you can't hear their voice, so.
Thank you, sir. Can I take Adebola Abioro? I don't know if it's Abioro or Abioro. Adebola, please. You are muted.
Good evening, sir. Well done. It's Abioro. You got it correctly.
Abioro, thank you.
Okay. Yes. So my question is going to be, can my biological mother mentor me? You know, how do we draw the line between that, getting that emotional and be like, come on, my friend, will you sit there and, just be very serious about, no, this is a mentoring. Is it possible? Thank you.
Yeah, it's possible. Your parents actually are your mentors, provided they can supply the wisdom, and normally they will go to war with you anyway. If they are good parents, they will go to war with you. Whatever you're going through, they are going through it. They may not have the resources that you're looking at, but sometimes when you are even overwhelmed, it's always good to go back home. That's why you should not leave your family members. Let me break a table here. Actually, your family members, if you guys are close, is your family. When they say church is your family, church is your second family, it's not your primary family. Because when the chiefs are down, church members, just imagine, not you, somebody falls sick for 1 month or 10 months. Church will only be there for 1 month. It can't be there for 10 months. It's your family members that can be there for 10 months. So they are your primary family. The church is your secondary family. Although the church is supposed to be your primary family, but the way we practice church is not the way it is. So that is why you must take your parents very seriously. And then you must find a way of gleaning from your mom, who you see as your mentor. Ask questions. Don't just sit down and say, these are the things I'm going through. What do you think, ma? How do you think I should approach this? Your mom will know when it's a serious discussion. Your dad will know when it's a serious discussion. And you must be able to capture that mood, that time when you know these people are serious right now. But definitely, if they can tick the table, you know the table? 50 to 70% qualify. I think Victor has something to say. Is that not it? There's something that he needs to, because one of the things that we need to learn here is some skills. And I think he has something to, or am I mistaken?
You can see his hand up. His hand is not up, sir. Can I go on?
Yeah. Okay, you can go on.
Someone asks, what is wrong with asking someone that you admire career-wise, someone who has the right quality to mentor you, what is wrong in approaching them and asking them, can you be my mentor?
There is nothing wrong in it, but it's not the best approach. It's not the best approach. It's a good approach, but it's not the best approach. The best approach, like we said, is when it's an initiative of the mentor. We're not ruling it out, but most of the time when you get result, where your mentor begins to chase you, and not you just chasing your mentor. When you call and he answers, and when he doesn't answer, he calls you back. That is when he makes the move. What you need to do is to project yourself, but there's nothing wrong in you making the move. But there's so many people who have made the move, but they've not gotten the same attention that people that the mentor ran after. Look, like I said earlier on, there is a list. They have priority lists. You call, they don't return your call. They are saying they are busy. Allow me to say it, it's a lie. There are some people that called after you that they called back. Nobody is busy for the people that they called priority. Nobody is busy. So by the time the mentor calls for you, you become a priority on his list. That's just basic wisdom. But can you move towards a man and ask him or a woman that you want him to mentor you? Why not? But you must be speaking the right language. What they want to hear. They want to hear success stories. Not your problem all the time. Leave the problem for later days. But if you want to attract them, you must speak the right language all the time. Good.
Thank you, sir. Can I take Mbadiwe Kenneth? Are you there, sir? Mbadiwe Kenneth, you are muted.
I think my Instagram people have lost them.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go on.
We can't just see your face.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't know if I can go on. Okay, sir. My question is this: if you're under mentorship and the person your mentor is somebody that loves the services you render at the moment, and you want to actually take a bow or take a leave to start up your own thing, which way can you recommend as the best way to do that? You actually came to serve this person or to stay with this person for, let's say, a year, and you're seeing yourself staying 3 years, and you want to take a leave, and you don't really want this to leave a vacuum, because this person has trusted a lot into your hand because of your capacity and ability to respond to some responsibilities. Which is the best way to disengage and not sever the relationship, the mentor and mentee relationship?
You can't sever the relationship. You have to do it gradually. And then you can't be leaving now. You come and meet. You can't be leaving in 1 month and you go and meet him that you want to leave in 1 month. It's good you discuss it with him. And what was your discussion before you joined him 1 year ago? Was it that you're coming here to work and you're going to be there forever? You told him that you're going to be there for a while. All those are very, very important. Let me give you a good one of what happened between me and Sam Adeyemi. I have been with Sam Adeyemi since 1993. We actually started, we didn't start Daystar together. I was one of the few people that was part of his team that when he started Daystar. I think that's more humbling enough statements. So one of the 30 people. So he groomed me and groomed me and groomed me. And then there was a time I was going to leave. The first time I told him I was going to leave was 2003. He said it wasn't time. So I waited till 2005 before it was time. So you can see that it was a discussion that happened for 2 years, back and forth. So you don't throw a surprise at them, expecting that they will just give you a pat on the back and that's it. It must be a discussion, and you must know the right time and the right mood. You must be able to understand them very well, because you don't want to burn the bridge. So take your time, spend time with them, know when to chip it in, and know when they are reacting, know when to pull back, and still give your 100% commitment and service, even when they are pulling back. And also, pray about it. Commit them into the hands of God, because it's a very delicate thing. But if they are very secured people, which I believe he is, then it won't take that long before they come to terms with the fact that they have to let you be and release you.
Thank you, sir.
Kenny, there is an Olawale Craig waiting in the waiting room. You need to admit the person immediately. Sorry, Tolu, go on.
How do I undo a pro-tech that wants you to mentor them, but basically because you are financially buoyant and it's so obvious that they want to take advantage of you?
I don't give them your money now. Let them be seeing the money and not give it to them. you're trying to let them be seeing the money. Let them be seeing you give other people money, so that they can get angry and they can leave you.
Oh, Lord, let down too.
You don't give them that money. You don't give it to them. Even your children, your mother, give it to them when you know that it's all about money, 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 money. You tell them you can't have it. It's part of it. Let them look for it. Let them see it. Let them see you give other people. When they are wondering, are you wicked? You say, yeah, because your motive is wrong. Good.
How do you admit it, please?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes, I've really enjoyed the section tonight. In fact, one of my greatest takeaway is that what you started with, that the best kind of mentorship is when the mentor came looking for you, not you looking for the mentor. And the other one that you said that when you are with them, you talk about your victory, not your problems, not your challenges. So I'm really blessed by that. And actually, the question I'm about to ask is the one that you just answered now. But I've already typed it in the chat room. that what about the protege that are always looking for money from the mentor? So what do you have to say about that? And I believe you have just answered that now. So thank you very much.
Like I said, let me just, okay, you want to say something else, Oluwole?
I really enjoyed the section, so thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, don't ever go asking for your mentors money. You will lose value. Ask for their money. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Can hear you. It's freezing.
Yeah,
We
don't
can
go
hear
ask
you now.
and you need to take it. The only time you should not take it is when you don't need it.
Hello,
There was
sir.
a time my mentor offered me money, I took it. Can you hear me?
It's breaking, but it's okay. Go on, sir.
Okay, there was a time they offered me money, I took it. There was a time when I've grown, they offered me money, I didn't take it. But I never asked for money because you will lose value. That's the balance in between knowing fully well that they are supposed to give you money or give you part of their resources. It is their role as a mentor, as a father, as a foster father to do that. But it's also responsibility on your part not to start asking for all those things. You will get it the first time, you may not get it the second time, and you may not have access again the second time or the third time. So you have to be careful about that. That's the balance.
Someone asked, sir, what is wrong in paying for mentorship?
What is wrong?
Yes, sir.
Look, when it comes to mentorship, it's not about enriching the mentor. I mean, financially enriching the mentor. Now, if the fee is to keep for the sustainability of the forum, is a different ballgame entirely. Now, this is it, because when you have something, you want it to be self-sustaining. And you don't want the mentor to be spending his money all the time. So let us do what we call, is it crowdfunding right now, or equal contribution from everybody. So if you are renting there was a time I was having a mentoring relationship in Lagos. We use a hotel and we have breakfast every day. So everybody did like a 50,000 naira contribution. So that is what we used to get the hall, to get the microphone, to get the breakfast for 4 times in a year, to get the breakfast, and then to pay some fee to the speakers that we will invite down to speak to us, to share their ideas. So if that is the reason why they are collecting money for mentoring, is okay. But if they are coaches, they need to collect their money. But mentoring is way, 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 way more than just asking people for money.
Thank you so much, sir. I have lots of questions, but you have covered majority of them while answering other questions. I'll just go to a few people who have their answer because we have really, really passed our time. Tayo Okpa, please.
Before Tayo come, yeah, Tayo, I know Tayo. Let me say this. On Saturday, we're having a program. Don't forget, those of us who are still around, Saturday, 7 p.m., we have Dr. Julian Kula, Nairobi, Kenya, powerful businessman. We need to be there. This is not what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's it. He's a deal maker. I mean, he will be speaking to us on our money series on Saturday, 7 p.m. Please don't miss it. Don't miss it, 7 p.m. And then also, we have the Speakers Academy. Every leader, I know this is a leadership series. Every leader must be able to speak. Now, this is an online class. So you call that number that is showing forth right now, 080-9470-9985. You call that number right now and discuss with them. They'll tell them you're calling based on this program. They have a discount for you. They must have a discount for you to join that. and it gives you an opportunity to be coached and mentored by my tribe. It gives you an opportunity to be coached and mentored by my tribe. So you need to join that if you're looking at connecting eventually with me. So that's a wonderful opportunity to get involved in it. And then there's something we're cooking, which is sales leadership. Just watch out for more. We don't have that right now. You need to take that up. That's not what we have. We don't have that. So sales leadership, you just look out for that as we move on. Now I will take Tayo, and then after I've taken Tayo, then I will allow Dr. Tony Alieguna to say some things. So Tayo,
Okay,
over to you.
Tayo, you are muted.
Okay. Hi, Tolu. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Abison has been insightful. Quite many reminders that helps to navigate the transition period I'm sure many of us are in. How do you drop mentees that presently now you've looked at it and it's almost as if you've been over emotional over a while. So even if adopting the spirit of fatherhood, so to speak, it's quite clear that you might need to should I say love from afar and maybe keep praying, why not totally giving up on them? Now, how would you advise such transition to hold? Should there be a discussion around some concerns over years and then a clear-cut communication saying that, hey, with the understanding of me being your mentor, I don't think this has produced what we both, would have envisaged or expectation. Or should it just be a silent withdrawal? And what best would you say from your own experience would be the best way to approach it?
Tayo, I think the best thing to do first is to pray. Pray.
Okay.
For the other party, pray for yourself, and look for a very good opportunity to discuss. Definitely there must be a discussion. Definitely there must be a discussion. Now let me share my own example with you. With when I was with Pastor Sam at DME, when I was about to leave, I'd already told him 2003 is not time yet. Then after a while, I prayed, I had a discussion with him, and my question was, how come I am not promoted? Because there was nothing when it comes to targets and goals at the beginning of the year that I didn't meet. Actually, I am always the first to meet my targets, and most of the time I double my target even before the other guys. So the question was now, how come I didn't get promoted? And I remember he told me then that he always wants to promote me, but there is always a caution from the Spirit or the Holy Spirit. So that was a discussion who was very fruitful. So I just knew that. So if you want to promote me and there is always a little caution here and there from the spirit realm, that means there's more to me than staying here. So it was glaring to the two of us. If you want to promote me and then there's a pause somewhere, so we need to look at it. So you need to pray, consider it very well, pray and pray and pray and pray. Consider the person and then look for the right time to have the discussion. And then you can always ease out. But make sure that you do all your best to make it very, very, very peaceful. I can't guarantee you to be peaceful, but at least you want to reduce the impact as much as you can. Good. So before we all run away, Pastor Tony Alieguna, are you still here? Or he has gone to pray in church? Oh, that's a fantastic mind that we need to hear from. Fantastic mind. Whenever he speaks, I'm always with my pen and my paper. But let's continue. If you still here, see 2 people raising their hands.
How many more can you take, sir?
I can take 2 more. I can be here all over. It's my data, it's your data. So if you want to be here, I'm here.
Can I take A Alessio? The hand has been up forever. A Alessio, please.
I'm privileged to have the second shot.
Go on, sir.
I'm privileged to have the second shot. My question is quick. Is it possible for you to be handed over to a mentor by someone else? For instance, Pastor Nee sees me, I'm with him, and he now decides to hand me over to, say, Feladro Toye or Sam Adeyemi. Is that a proper way of mentor?
Oh yeah, why not? Why not? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that happens within my tribe. When you talk to me, sometimes I look at, no, I can't handle this case. If I can't handle this case, or it's beyond me, or I would not have the right language for the person, I look for somebody also within my network that fits into that category and say, you know what, it will talk to you from now on, and then let us see progress, and then we can always take it up later. So that's very possible. I've had a situation where, you know, you're mentoring the opposite sex, and then something is getting out of hand. You both know that if we continue this way, we will never be the same again. So what do? You quickly have a discussion and say, you know what, you need to go to someone else, or else you'll be playing with fire. Like I said, you get your fingers burnt, and you may get your hands blown out entirely. Good. I was Tony Aspire. Thank you. I can see my picture at your background. Thank you, Tony.
Yala, you are unmuted. Please.
Thank you, Madam Tolu. Good evening, boss. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, good to see you.
Yes, boss. I have this question, and I think it is a wisdom we need here. What if in a situation you find people referring to you as their son, one of their son, or one of their mentees, and whereas you definitely don't agree with that, not because you are better, not because you are richer, not because you are more privileged. You will respect them for who they are, for their personality, but you really don't agree with their ideals, their personality. I don't have a problem with you, but don't bring me under that umbrella. But every opportunity these people have, they keep referring to you, and it's like a stain of your personality. How do we handle that, sir?
Okay, first is that most of the time, the reason why they will use you as a son, as an example, is because you're always around them. If they don't see you, it may reduce. But when they see you in the garden, they say, that's my son, and then you don't want them to say that publicly. That means you do not spend time with them as much as you do. So that on its own is there. Now, this is it. If somebody calls you my son, when you go up there, you try as much as possible to avoid even calling the person or even acknowledging the person at all. I mean, I'm in a gathering, I'm a speaker, somebody calls me my son. When I get off stage, I'll just keep talking. I won't even refer to you. I may not even greet. Just to send a body language to the old people and to you that don't do this next time. But you don't have to pick up a fight with those people. They don't call me your son again. I'm not your son. You never can tell where you will meet in the future. You have to be very discreet about communication and then managing the information that comes. Once you get up or once you have an opportunity to talk, you just act as if they are not there. But if the person will always see you and start talking my son, so you avoid that gathering where he will always refer to you. Do you understand? So that helps.
Ayoshola, from South Africa. Are you there?
I'm here. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, yeah, okay. Good evening. I would like to appreciate you for this class. It's a very nice one. and I'm really blessed. And Tolu, thank you for inviting me to this section. I really appreciate it. My question is, for example, let's say you're mentoring someone and the person has done something wrong and you try to punish the person. If I say punish, not that a severe one, like to reprimand the person, telling the person what you've done is wrong, and the person still feels like, no, what I've done is not wrong. And at the end of the day, it has to be like, maybe there's like an issue here and the person tries to walk away. And you as the mentor, you know that this guy is going astray. With that situation, how do you handle that situation, or what you do? Thank you, sir.
Well, let me first say that as a mentor, your job is not to lord it over me, especially if we have come to the point of I'm grown up. In as much as we use the father-son relationship, you know there's some that you have, you can't tell them what to do. You can only advise them on what to do. And even a good mentor does not tell you what to do. It just gives you the option and say, you know what, this is what I think, but it is left to you to make your decision, because you have to still treat them like matured people. Now, if he has done something wrong and I've explained to him that what you've done is actually wrong, and he doesn't see my points, you understand? So I let it be. I let it be. But when the issue comes up again, I will always remind him. But that doesn't, just like they say, you don't throw away the dirty water and the baby. You don't throw both away. You take the baby out and you throw the dirty water, because it's still there, it's still your son. Remember, it's your protege, you have to protect it. So you tell him beforehand that what you're driving now, where you're going right now, this and this are the possible consequences. But you know what, when you get there and you see it, don't think that I will be there for you. That's just a warning. But even when it gets there, you can't live all by himself. Do you understand? So that's the way to go. You just have to make sure that they have the mind of their own most of the time. So I think the last question now.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Tosi, yeah, the last one. Yeah, muted. Go on.
She's on mute.
Yeah, I'm muted now. I can't unmute her. Are you there? Yes, she's still there. I can't unmute her. I don't know what happened.
I think a lot of people are trying to unmute her. You know what, Tosi, why not unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, good evening once again. Thank you so much for the opportunity to ask this question. I'm going to be asking the flip side of what Tayo asked. Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now, so I am the mentee or the protege, and although there was no formal agreement, or when I say formal agreement, I mean a paper or an MOU, a letter or something, but we had, if we have had a discussion that I want you to mentor me, and as the mentor you have agreed, and there's even there's a schedule, right? So maybe, for instance, we have certain times when I come to you to sit down and I learn or I ask you questions, and then all of a sudden you are no longer sticking with the plan. And so the first time I ask and I don't get a response, a direct response to that question, and then so that scheduled time is gone. The next scheduled time, comes, and you still do not meet up, or you don't give me a response as to, okay, what time it is, or you indirectly just tell me, Shebi, we are seeing right now, like we are talking right now, So I feel like there's a lot communicated in that statement, but I am still unsure as to whether it is right or wrong. Do I just take that body language and assume, okay, the mentor-mentee relationship is over without the person communicating it directly? Or do I still continue to pester and ask that, okay, what has happened?
What I would advise you to do is that don't take assumptions as finality. Because the person is giving you that body language doesn't mean you should assume that it's over. And I also advise you not to press that. Sometimes you need to let it be. You need to let some air breathe, give it some space, and then go do your thing. Go do some things that you have agreed that you should do before the whole meeting turns south. So go do that, project yourself, give them feedbacks, whether through text messages actually, or email. Don't try to call, don't try to be in their space. They may just be going through some momentary thing that they are trying to get themselves, but they don't know how to communicate it. Just go on, achieve your results, still give them the feedback about your results every now and then, every now and then, every now and then. But don't push it. But don't assume that because they are not giving you the right body language, the relationship is over, or the mentoring relationship is over. Make sure there is a discussion. And when the time is right, you both will know. You sit down and then you decide. But don't assume. But again, don't push. But just keep doing what you have discussed before. Keep doing your stuff. Keep achieving your results and keep giving feedbacks. Text messages, email. Very soon there will be a call and then you guys will have a meeting together. I hope that helps. So let me say big thank you before we go to Tolu Odubanjo. Thank you so much for coordinating this meeting.
Thank you,
I am so relieved because I ran in, well, as if I was at a meeting before the conference. I had to run into this one, and then you already coordinating it, making it look nice. It was, this was far better than last week. Last week I was scattered. This time around, I'm composed. And the reason why I'm composed is because we handled this session very well. Thank you so much. We also say this to Juliet, Lola, Kenny, and Bolaji. You guys, thank you also, because you're also at the back end. And also Victor Aruna, thank you for holding forth and doing all this. Now, listen, every Thursday we're back, but we're not talking mentoring again next Thursday. It's every Thursday, 7 p.m. Make it a date. Don't let us remind you. You put a timer on. And then again, Saturdays, please join us. It's about money. Money, 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 money. And then you need to check on Julian Kula, the man from Kenya, Reverend, and then check out what he's doing. You know, he just signed a deal that will make him build 100,000 housing units in Kenya, 100,000 housing units. And he was saying that the fund to complete it is already there. It was a deal, so we need to listen to him on Saturday, 7 p.m. And if you are a pastor, a ministry leader, join us Monday, 7 p.m. We'll be having the think tank for pastors. We'll be talking about different generations, X, Y, Z, and the Alpha generation. How do you attract them? How do you retain them? And if you're a businessman, or not the one that is just starting, a businessman, and you want to go into a private meeting with me on Sunday, you can send us your phone number. We can call you. A private meeting with me and then the MD of Mutual Benefit Assurance on Sunday. Please send me your number. We will test your result. We will test your ability to see whether you are really a businessman. And then to know whether we'll admit you on Sunday, 7 p.m. And everything is 7 p.m. so that we can accommodate people from other clients also. And please, don't forget, you need to learn how to speak. So join us on our, Online Speakers Academy. It's also an opportunity to join my tribe. I have a growing tribe, and we take care of ourselves. So you need to be there and then register for that class. If you call the number that we showed you earlier on, then you can make that call, and I'm sure they have a discount for you right about now. They have a discount for you right about now. So good. Tolu?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. We sincerely appreciate. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience, and we'll appreciate if you can give us feedback. I think if you register with your email, there should be email sent to you for feedback, or just leave your comments, and we sincerely appreciate to have you back next time. Please don't forget to follow me at Adesonya on Instagram for any subsequent program coming up. And don't forget, this one is every Thursday with different things to discuss. Just go to N Adesonya on Instagram and follow. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you from South Africa, USA, wherever you're coming from. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're welcome. I will unmute everyone now to say a big thank you to Pastor Lee. Like to hear your voice. Say thank you to Pastor Lee. Everyone is unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Banjo. Thank you, Pastor Adesanya.
Thank you, Pastor Nee.
Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome. Florence, Michael, Paul, Adebola, Ajay.
So see you on Saturday. You also last see you on Saturday. Saturday, Paul, David. Let's all take the Lord's Austin. See you on
Hello, sir.
Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Tony, thank you. Michael,
thank you.
Fortune,
Ogene, Engineer Kim, thank you. Dayo, thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yes.
We're waiting for you to leave. Thank you. You can wave, use your icon.
Everybody to leave first.
Big round of applause. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate.
Software Michael Digger, Theophilus, Olarewaju. Thank you, David Asanga. Thank you. Where you people should be going now? When you are going.
Olawale Craig. Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys on Saturday. Don't forget, Saturday. Polake
so
Ferreira, thank you for the lodge. I enjoyed it. Polake Ferreira, thank you.
Tolu Taiwo, Tope Mark, Oluwole Daudu, thank you.
Thank you. Somebody.
Tope Mark, it would be nice to see your face one day. You have a beautiful face. Olanrewaju Salako.
She's a star. Do you watch My View? TVC My
Yes.
View. Presenter there.
Dayo Bankole, thank you for your time. Tolu Taiwo, Olawole Daudu, Oluseye Oyeniyi, Olanrewaju Salako, Olabowale Oluyide, Michael Oyaga. Thank you so much.
Good to see you guys.
I'd like to end the meeting now.
Okay, we end the meeting now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless.